So Nick, if you're good with it, we're down to about 30 minutes, and I'm just going to blast some questions out of the
Please.
chat and see if I can combine some up. So try to get about 200 participants left, see if we can answer some of those questions they had. There is a couple questions that are laying in there about maybe a flight deck training update and an ABACUS update. I'll give them both at you and let you rock on those.
Flight deck training was working today. Asked for update by the end of the week of where we're at. So as of say about 2 weeks ago, I told you all, moved it to priority 1A. Let's call this to question and figure out where we are, put this to bed. We have what I'd call the principal agreement with the agency on the core tenets of it and it evolving from what it once was. Now it's the logistics in the background. One is TSA, I guess following right up with the conversation I just had on that, is no longer has a union. And things are very difficult over at TSA. But one of the MOUs that the agency has to sign is with TSA in order for us to be able to go past security and use our credentials for the flight deck training. That MOU is currently with them, trying to find out a status update and some level of a timeline of where it's going to be. Many of the other obstacles and barriers were the CAS system that gains us access to the cockpit have been worked out. They're signing the MOUs with the airlines right now that need to be done. So all the background work is being done, but they cannot move on the finalization of the MOUs with the airlines until TSA agrees on our security requirements to get past there. So we are getting much closer than we've ever been. Going to keep the pressure on. Chris Wilbanks and Jamal are doing an outstanding job of pulling this out of the ashes and moving it forward. And my goal will be to have you a larger update, I would say within the next 30 days of where we are. And I'll make sure I do either some level of video or email out about that. Oh, John, you're muted, but the second is ABACUS.
There it is. Thank you.
I'm looking over at the board right now and making sure that I have the latest. En route, where it was going to take till 2029, went in, asked Nate Pear to head it up, working with the NVT and the ABACUS teams together, and now they're at full complement and full speed. Please give if you get a chance to meet any of those members, thank them for what they're doing. And honestly, the tasks that we've asked them to step up to on behalf of all the members that have been not properly compensated for far too long, especially our en route facilities that have 15 years of never having their traffic properly counted. Next week will be the final validation of the en route facilities instead of 2028. So I'm very excited about that. Once they do that final validation, then they start applying all the validated traffic data through the to produce the TCI through the ABACUS system, and ultimately that producing a number. Those numbers do not equate to the numbers today because it's two entirely different systems. So that will then require a negotiation of where the breakpoints are for 12, 11, 10 in the en route side of it. So I look at it as a world of, if you have 20 en route facilities and you were number 19 and you've moved up to number 14, you're probably going to be in a different cut of the breakpoints. But also in that breakpoint negotiation isn't just cut the cake the same way it's always been cut, meaning the pay levels, and going from there is what groupings make sense. Is all the traffic being counted properly? Are all the complexity factors being taken into account? And if some of them can't be taken into account yet, how do we protect the facilities from being downgraded and ensuring that they have the full SWAT of their TCI being correct? Now, that's the en route side. That should happen in November, and we should be able to be rolling that out not too long after that. The second aspect of it is now our CCFs and our terminal facilities. Obviously, there's many more of them. While the en route is being negotiated, the NVT is looking at it. ABACUS rolls directly into looking at, believe, the CCFs, and in the same time with our terminal facilities and opening up that door and validating. Some of them will be virtual, some of them will be in person, depending on the different complexities. And all of that to be said, while ABACUS is being done, Frank and I have asked and tasked the ABACUS and NVT team to go in and look at specifically the ground complexity that we talked about at convention has been talked about for far too long, of implementing that prior to the ABACUS rollout. Now, for the terminal facilities, I guess let me close that aspect of it down. Looking at, I think, approximately Nate's going to scream at me if I get it wrong, approximately of March, April, that closing out, May being in a breakpoint negotiation and discussion. Obviously, we'll keep you updated as that part goes. And I think it's around that time frame for all of our terminal facilities. And we're going to do our large trade cons as well, CCFs, large trade cons, and then all the other towers and tower trade cons. So with that being the case, we should be negotiating en route, then CCFs, and then our terminal facility, or en route in November, CCFs by approximately April, May of next year, and ensuring that our facilities are being compensated appropriately, all while we're trying to work with the NVT, NACA, and management of how do we put in the ground complexity under the current system and not just waiting for ABACUS like that's happened for far too long. So there's your update, quick down and